skills. But maybe before moving to a new country, you were a teacher, an engineer, an accountant, a manager, maybe a skilled professional or tradesperson. And now you might be working an entry-level job or even struggling to get hired at all. And you keep thinking, I know I could do more than this. So how do I get employers to see my value? If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. I want to show you how to get your credentials and experience noticed, build experience from your new country, and grow a professional network so that you can go towards the career you actually want. And I want you to remember this. Your first job in a new country does not have to be your final destination. One of the first challenges internationally trained professionals face is employers may not understand the value of your education and your experience. Think about it. You might have had an excellent degree from a respected university in your home country. You might have 10 years or more of professional experience. But if the employer doesn't recognize that university, qualification, or company from your previous job, they won't understand what you could bring to the table. So your job is to make it easier for them. Start by researching your profession. Does it require Canadian licensing or certification? Would you benefit from having your international credits assessed? Is there additional training or certification that could make your qualification easier for them to recognize? Find out exactly what's expected in your job or industry. But don't stop at just listing your degree on the resume. You need to communicate what that education allows you to do. So instead of just saying, I have a degree in business, explain what you specialized in. What did you learn? What projects did you complete? What technical knowledge do you have? And what problems can you solve for an employer? Your resume and LinkedIn profile shouldn't just tell employers what you studied. They should help employers understand what you can do. So let's talk about something many newcomers hear. You need Canadian experience. And I know how frustrating that could be. How are you supposed to get experience in Canada if no one gives you the opportunity to get Canadian experience? And this is where I want you to think strategically. Your first opportunity in a new country does not have to be your dream job. Look for opportunities that allow you to build the evidence that you could use your skills in a new environment. Maybe that means volunteering with an organization related to your profession, joining a professional association, taking on a project of your own. Maybe it's completing more training that will help you get there. Accept a contract, even if it's casual or temporary work, or take a position that gives you experience that can lead you towards that goal. And here's something important. There is a difference between taking an entry-level job as a stepping stone and allowing that job to become your destination when you want something more. If you're currently at an entry-level job, ask yourself, what am I gaining here that will help me get to my new position? Maybe you're gaining Canadian references because we need people who will refer us. Maybe you're learning the workplace culture. And maybe you're developing your English and communication skills, which are all valuable. Maybe you're meeting new people in the industry. That's called networking, which you also need. So you're going to use all of this experience and skills that you've gained, and you're going to work towards the next step. So let's talk more about networking. So if your entire job search strategy looks just like this, find a job, submit a resume, and wait. And then find another job, submit another resume, and wait again, then you're missing an important part of career development. People need to know you. So start building a professional relationship before you need something from those people. Connect with them. These are your people working in your profession. So attend events, join associations, maybe attend meetings, join the board, and use LinkedIn intentionally. Talk to them, ask them questions. Learn how this profession works in your new country. And when you're networking, don't immediately ask them to help you get a job. Build the relationship first. You could say something like, I'm internationally trained in engineering, and I'm working towards rebuilding my career in Canada. I'd like to learn more about your experience in the industry. Would you be open to conversation? You're not asking them to hire you. You're starting a professional relationship. One conversation can lead to another conversation. And sometimes that person might introduce you to someone else. You may learn about a company you didn't even know existed. You may hear about an opportunity before it's even posted. Networking isn't just about finding a job. It's about becoming part of your professional community. And this brings me to something that's especially important if English isn't your first language. You may be extremely qualified, but employers can only evaluate the experience you're able to communicate to them. Imagine you're in an interview and the employer asks, tell me about your leadership experience. And you say, I worked with a team, I helped people, and I solved problems. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that answer, but it doesn't really show them the true level of your experience. Now, compare it with this answer. I coordinated a team of 6 employees. I delegated responsibilities, resolved operational issues, and helped ensure that projects were completed on time. Same person, same experience, but completely different impressions. That's why professional English isn't about memorizing complicated words just to sound intelligent. It's about learning how to clearly communicate your value. What did you do? How did you do it? And what happened because of it? Always focus on the outcome. Practice telling your career stories. Prepare examples of your leadership experience, your teamwork, your problem-solving abilities, your accomplishments, challenges that you've overcome, and projects you've completed. And these don't always have to be work-related. They could be from work experience. They could be from volunteer. They could be from home. You can get these experiences in many different ways. So prepare the language before you need it. And finally, I want you to stop thinking about how do I get a job? Instead, ask yourself, how do I get from where I am now to where I want to be? Think of your career as a ladder. At the top is the position you want. And now you're going to work backwards. What experience does that require? What credentials or certification? What skills do I need to be there? And what professional vocabulary should I have? What accomplishments would make your resume stronger? Now look at where you are today and think about what's the next realistic step. How are you going to level up? Maybe your path looks something like this. You start with an entry-level position, then a related professional role, and then a more specialized role. And maybe later you move up into a supervisor or management role. Your path may look completely different. The important thing is that you have a direction, you have a destination, you know where you want to go. And once you know that, it's easy to set the steps. And sometimes you just need to take several small steps or moves, and each one will take you closer to where you want to go. If you've moved to a new country and you're currently working below your qualifications, don't measure your entire future by your current career goal. Use where you are as the first step. Get your experience, get your credentials, build your relationships, and work on your English. Learn to communicate them. So something like the app that I'm offering and this specialized one-on-one speaking, this is what's going to help you build that confidence. And once you get the education to where it needs to be, you have the Canadian experiences, you have some references and networking, you're on the path to get where you need to be. This definitely takes time, but I recommend that you subscribe to Speak Up, Level Up Your Career, and tell me in the comments, what career are you working towards? And I'd love to hear where you are now and where you want to go next. And I'd love to help you with your career journey.